war begins in the morning. The alarm goes off. A familiar sound. A beep. A vibration. A quiet chime. It's subtle. Routine. Innocent. But don't let it fool you, because that sound doesn't mark the beginning of another day. It marks the beginning of a war. And the battlefield? It's not out there. It's inside you. Before your feet hit the floor, before your eyes fully open, before you remember who you are or what needs to be done, a decision is being made. And most lose by default. They don't even know the war's happening. They don't know they've already surrendered to habit, to fear, to the same spiral of survival and stagnation that has kept them stuck for years. They wake up, and their first thoughts are of dread. Deadlines, debt, drama. They start the day as passengers in a car they never chose to drive. But not us. We don't start the day asleep with our eyes open. We start it like a soldier sharpening a blade. We choose our first thoughts. We command our minds. We own the battlefield. Because if you don't own your morning, you don't own your day. And if you don't own your day, you don't own your life. Not, I hope it goes well. Not, let's see what happens. Not, maybe I'll catch a break today. No, I own this day. Say it again. I own this day. Because if you don't own it, someone else will. Your boss, your partner, your inbox, your anxiety, your bad habits. They'll hijack your energy before breakfast. They'll write the story for you while you're still rubbing the sleep from your eyes. But ownership is the line in the sand. It's the moment you go from reactive to relentless, from victim to volcanic force. When you own the day, you no longer ask for permission. You don't wait for perfect conditions. You create conditions. You set the tone. You define the terms. Because time is not your enemy. It's your servant. You don't say, "Where did the time go?" You say, "This is how my time will be used." You command your minutes like a general commands a battlefield. Every hour has a purpose. Every task is a move. Every breath is part of a larger strategy. People think success is about talent, about luck, about connections. No. Success is about ownership. And ownership starts the second your consciousness returns. You either own the day, or you let it own you. Let's kill a lie. Comfort is not your friend. You've been told your whole life to chase comfort, to build a life of ease, to find your happy place. But the truth is, comfort is where potential goes to die. Discomfort is where you meet your evolution. Discomfort is where the old version of you burns so the new one can rise. Growth is not supposed to feel good. It's supposed to tear you apart. Muscles grow by breaking. Wisdom grows by bleeding. Character grows by choosing the hard thing over the easy one, again and again. You don't become powerful by avoiding pressure. You become powerful by walking into it and refusing to break. So when the bed is warm and the world is cold, rise anyway. When the task is hard and the resistance is loud, do it anyway. When fear whispers, stay small, you roar back, watch me expand. You must rewire your relationship with pain. You must learn to see discomfort, not as suffering, but as a signpost, a sacred signal that you're stepping into growth, a baptism of fire that separates the watchers from the warriors. When you feel the sting of doubt, the burn of fatigue, the ache of failure, smile. It means you're alive. It means you're becoming. The ones who win in this world aren't the ones who suffer the least. They're the ones who use suffering like steel, to sharpen their edge, to test their resolve, to carve out a version of themselves that no storm can shake. Most people waste their lives fighting battles that aren't theirs, obsessing over what they can't touch, crying over the economy, raging at the headlines, begging for the world to change, while never changing themselves. They burn their energy in the outer circles, trying to manipulate the weather while ignoring their own umbrella, trying to change other people's choices while their own habits are rotting them from the inside. But you play a different game. You don't chase storms. You build a shelter. You build a fortress. You become the storm. Because real power is quiet. It doesn't shout at the world. It whispers to the self. Focus on what you can control. Your thoughts, your attitude, your effort, your reactions, your decisions, your standards. This is your garden. And if you tend it ruthlessly, the weeds don't stand a chance. You don't ignore the world. You acknowledge it, then outwork it. You stop trying to fix everyone else. You fix your focus. You stop looking for saviors. You become one. Because control isn't about domination. It's about discipline. And the disciplined mind is a weapon no chaos can disarm. I deliver value before I expect return. Most people live in a transaction mindset. What can I get? What's in it for me? When do I get mine? But greatness doesn't flow from greed. It flows from service. From the relentless obsession with giving more than you take. You want to rise, then become valuable. Become the person that others can't do without. Become the force that lifts others even when no one's watching. Become the storm that delivers before it demands. Because the world rewards those who build, not those who beg. You don't plant seeds and ask for fruit in the same breath. You till the soil. You water it every day. You work when no one's watching. And when the harvest comes, you're not surprised. You're ready. Deliver value not for applause, but because that's who you are. A builder, a creator, a contributor, a force of abundance in a world of scarcity. While others beg for recognition, you give it. While others complain about lack, you create overflow. While others chase rewards, you become the reward. This is how kings are built. Not by asking for crowns, but by showing up day after day until reality bows down. V. I am grateful for what is, while working toward what could be. Here's the final edge, the paradox most can't hold: gratitude and hunger. Some people live stuck in the future, never satisfied, always chasing, always empty. They crush milestones, yet feel nothing. Because they never stop to breathe, to see, to appreciate. Others get too comfortable. They build small lives around tiny joys, afraid to dream bigger because the present is good enough. But you walk the tightrope. You look at where you are and honor it. Every scar, every step, every survival. You honor your past, not because it defines you, but because it refined you. And from that place of power, you aim higher. You say, thank you. Then you get to work. You appreciate your life. Then you demand more from it. Gratitude gives you peace. Hunger gives you power. And when you combine them, you become a god in motion. Conclusion. This is the way of the warrior. These 5 declarations, they aren't just words. They are weapons. They are armor. They are the code of those who refuse to live life on their knees. Say them every morning. Write them in your blood if you have to. I own this day. I embrace the discomfort of growth. I focus on what I can control. I deliver value before I expect return. I am grateful for what is, while working toward what could be. Burn them into your identity. Let them shape the way you breathe, move, act, fight, and become. Because you were not born for mediocrity. You were not made to drift, beg, or break. You were forged in the fire to rise, to command your time, to dominate your doubts, to walk into every single morning like a soldier walking into battle. And if you win the morning, you win the war. Lesson 1. The power of ownership. Declaration: I own this day. The problem. Most people wake up already defeated. They check their phone before they check their mind. They let the world set the tone before they've even opened their mouth. And then they wonder why they feel lost, unfulfilled, powerless. It's because they've surrendered the first and most critical moment of the day. They've forfeited ownership. No, you can't afford to give that moment away. Because how you wake is how you walk. And how you walk is how you live. If the first thing you think is reactive, anxious, or vague, your entire day is built on weak ground. But if the first thing you think is deliberate, empowering, and final, your day becomes a fortress. You become the architect of your time, not its victim. Ownership is not about control. It's about authorship. You are either the one writing the story or the one being written. What it means to own the day. Owning the day means recognizing that every second is a resource, not to be wasted, not to be tossed to the wind or stolen by trivial things, but to be directed with intention. Owning the day means you are not waiting for motivation. You are the source of it. You do not hope today goes well. You build it to go well. You do not drift through decisions. You make them like a commander, calm, clear, absolute. Owning the day means you stop blaming your circumstances, your past, or other people. Your time, your energy, your output, they belong to you. If you lose them, it's because you gave them away, not because they were taken. Morning practice. Before your feet touch the ground, before the world speaks, you must speak to yourself. Say this with full presence and power. I own this day. Whisper it if you must. Growl it if you have to. But mean it. Then ask yourself this. What decisions am I going to make today? On purpose. What distractions will I eliminate before they arise? Where will I choose strength over comfort? Where will I enforce my boundaries? What actions will reflect the fact that I own this day? Write these down. Don't just think them. Ownership lives in commitment, and commitment lives on paper. The battle against passivity. Passivity is the enemy of power. If you do not claim your day, it will be claimed for you. By obligation, by noise, by fear, by every little thing that doesn't matter trying to act like it does. You'll be pulled by people's opinions, pushed by problems that aren't yours, spun around by emotional storms that could have been avoided with 10 seconds of clarity. When you don't take ownership, you become a puppet, and the strings are pulled by everything but you. Creating a structure of discipline, owning the day, requires more than a mantra. It requires a structure. Without structure, ownership becomes a fantasy. Set up a morning process that is yours. Wake at the same time every day. Begin with stillness. No devices, no voices, no input. Speak or write. I own this day. Define the non-negotiables for your time, energy, and attention. Build your day from that foundation, not from chaos. Repetition is power. The more consistent your structure, the less mental friction you face. You stop trying to own the day, and you live it automatically. Daily integration. Throughout the day, the ownership mindset must be reinforced. Ask this question every few hours. Am I acting like the owner of this moment or the tenant? If you catch yourself drifting, reset. Take a breath. Return to intention. Decide again. Owning the day is not a one-time statement. It's a posture, a stance, a code of operation. You will be tested. Someone will try to hijack your time. A crisis will try to throw you off balance. An old pattern will whisper, "Go back to comfort." That's when you remind yourself who runs this day. You do. Weekly application. Every evening, review the day with ruthless honesty. Ask, where did I take full ownership? Where did I hand my power away? What distracted me? Why did I let it? What can I do differently tomorrow to strengthen my control? Keep a log of this. Patterns will emerge. Weak points will reveal themselves. And the more you expose them, the more you can fortify them. By the end of the week, you should be able to say, I don't just speak ownership. I live it. Final word. You cannot build an extraordinary life with borrowed hours. You cannot become unshakable by waking up unsure. You cannot conquer your goals with a mind that drifts at dawn. Ownership isn't a suggestion. It's a requirement. Say it again. I own this day. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when you feel ready. Now. Because nothing changes until you do. And it all begins in the moment you wake. Before the world whispers. Before your excuses rise. With 5 words. I own this day. Period. Lesson 2. The discomfort compass. Declaration. I embrace the discomfort of growth. The problem. We live in a world addicted to comfort, conditioned to crave ease, trained to seek what's soft, safe, and soothing. From the moment we're born, we're sold a lie. That life is about feeling good. That growth should be painless. That transformation should feel like a warm bath instead of a battlefield. No. The truth is darker and far more liberating. Growth is pain. Progress is pressure. Evolution is war. Every step forward demands something from you. Something real. Something raw. A sacrifice of certainty. A death of ego. A loss of who you were. But most people aren't willing to pay that price. So they stay the same. They become experts at avoidance. Masters of stagnation. Prisoners in a cell they built with their own comfort. The war within. Discomfort is not the enemy. Discomfort is the compass. Where it points is where your greatest growth lives. That conversation you're afraid to have. That habit you keep avoiding. That truth about yourself you don't want to admit. That's the edge of your growth. That's where your next level is hiding. Not in the light. Not in the easy. Not in the repetition of what you've already mastered. You want to evolve. You want to become something unrecognizable to the version of you who started this path? Then stop chasing comfort. Start chasing what challenges you. Start doing the things that make your hands shake and your stomach turn. Because that's where the transformation begins. What it means to embrace discomfort. To embrace discomfort is to rewire your perception of pain. It's to stop flinching and start leaning in. It's to wake up and say, I want the stretch. I want the sting. I want the sharpening. You don't do it because you enjoy suffering. You do it because suffering with purpose creates power. Because the temporary burn gives way to permanent evolution. When you declare, I embrace the discomfort of growth, you are choosing the path of fire, the path that strips away weakness, the path that forges unbreakable character. You stop waiting for the feeling of readiness. You create readiness by moving while afraid. You stop asking for certainty. You build certainty through motion. You stop needing to feel comfortable. You train yourself to feel alive inside the discomfort. Morning practice. Each morning, as part of your ritual, speak the words, I embrace the discomfort of growth. Say it with conviction. Say it like a soldier strapping on armor. Then ask, what discomfort will I choose today? Where will I stretch instead of retreat? What habit have I been avoiding? What conversation needs to be had, no matter how hard? What area of my life have I let comfort take control? Write it down. Make it visible. Choose your discomfort intentionally. Because if you don't choose discomfort, life will eventually force it on you. The difference is whether you suffer with a purpose or without one. Reframing the pain. When discomfort arises, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, you must learn to reframe it in real time. Don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this shaping in me? Don't say, this hurts. Say, this is my body, my mind, my identity being broken down and rebuilt stronger. Don't try to escape it. Enter it. Feel it. Face it. Use it. Because every time you step into discomfort willingly, you become more. You chip away at the fragile version of yourself, and you build something indestructible in its place. Daily integration. Look for moments during your day where you naturally resist. Moments where your instinct is to delay, avoid, or shrink. The difficult task on your list? Start it first. The conversation that brings anxiety? Initiate it. The workout your body dreads? Do it anyway. The truth you don't want to hear? Confront it. Make discomfort your teacher, not your tormentor. The longer you run from it, the weaker you become. But the more you lean into it, the stronger your identity forges itself in fire. Remember, comfort kills potential. Discomfort awakens it. Weekly challenge. Pick one area of life where you've been playing small due to fear or hesitation. Maybe it's a physical challenge you've avoided, a habit you keep breaking, a truth you refuse to face, a risk you've been talking about for months, but never act on. Commit to facing that discomfort daily for 7 days. Track your reactions, your excuses, your progress. At the end of the week, ask, what changed in me because I chose discomfort? What part of me got stronger? What story did I stop believing? You'll begin to see that the pain was never the problem. The problem was your relationship to it. Growth never comes in the form of peace. It comes as disruption, as friction, as fire. You want a different life? You want to be unrecognizable in the mirror 6 months from now? Then stop worshiping comfort. Stop trying to feel good. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to stretch. Choose the stretch. Choose the resistance. Choose the suffering with purpose. Because if you don't, someone else's discipline will surpass your dreams. Someone else's pain tolerance will outpace your passion. And you'll wonder how they did it. They did it by embracing what you ran from. So say it. One more time. I embrace the discomfort of growth. Not tomorrow. Not when it's easy. Now because comfort won't save you. But discomfort. Discomfort will set you free. Lesson 3. The focus filter. Declaration. I focus on what I can control. The problem. Most people are mentally exhausted before the day even begins. Not because they've done too much, but because they've tried to control everything. Everything but themselves. They obsess over other people's behavior. They worry about events they can't touch. They drown in anxiety over things they'll never influence. It's a slow death. The kind that doesn't make a sound, but rots from the inside out. They waste hours reacting to headlines. They replay past conversations, imagining new outcomes that will never happen. They stress over weather, economy, traffic, algorithms, gossip, all the things that lie outside the reach of their will. And in doing so, they bleed out their energy, their power, their clarity. No. If you want to reclaim control over your life, you must stop trying to control the uncontrollable. You must draw a line between chaos and command, and operate ruthlessly inside that boundary. The law of inner command. There is a simple law most people never learn. Your effectiveness is directly proportional to how often you operate within your circle of control. When you focus on what's inside that circle, your power multiplies. Your decisions sharpen. Your stress drops. Your impact grows. But the moment you start directing your energy outside that circle, you become scattered, weak, helpless. What's inside your circle? Your thoughts, your decisions, your reactions, your words, your discipline, your effort, your standards. Everything else is influence at best, and chaos at worst. The world will always be noisy, unfair, inconsistent, out of alignment with your expectations. You cannot fix the world, but you can command yourself inside it. What it means to focus on what you can control. It means you stop giving power to things that don't serve your mission. You stop obsessing over variables you cannot bend. When others lash out, you control your response. When circumstances collapse, you control your composure. When the future feels uncertain, you control the step you take next. This isn't passivity. This is war strategy. You're not ignoring the outside world. You're refusing to be ruled by it. You're not powerless. You're just done playing a rigged game. The game where your peace depends on the behavior of people who don't care if you win. Morning practice. Each morning, as you declare your ownership of the day and your embrace of discomfort, add this third commandment. I focus on what I can control. Say it slowly. Say it with weight. Let it pierce through the noise. Then ask, what is within my control today? Where am I wasting energy? What actions can I take that are completely mine? Where do I need to pull my power back from? Then write down the 3 most important things you can control that day. Make them your priority. Let nothing outside your circle dictate the pace, tone, or direction of your actions. The 3 circles of reality. To lock this principle into your mind, remember this framework. Circle 1, control. Your thoughts, your actions, your preparation, your effort. Circle 2, influence. Your leadership, your example, your input into others' decisions. Circle 3, chaos. The past, the economy, the weather, other people's choices. Spend 90% of your time in Circle 1, 10% in Circle 2, and 0 in Circle 3. If something falls into Circle 3 and you're giving it energy, you're bleeding power. Close the wound. Withdraw the emotion. Return to your circle. That's how you protect your mental fortress. That's how you stay unshaken when the world spins out of control. Daily integration. Throughout the day, chaos will come knocking. Emails, interruptions, bad news, disrespect, uncertainty. You must respond with one question. Is this within my control? If yes, act with precision. If no, let it go. Not out of indifference, but out of discipline. This is not about shrinking your concern. It's about concentrating your firepower. Because scattered power is powerless, but focused power is unstoppable. Weekly challenge. At the end of each day this week, conduct a focus audit. Write down, what drained me today? Was it within my control? What could I have redirected or ignored? Where did I give energy that brought no return? Then write a single commitment for tomorrow. A filter, a focus, a decision to tighten your circle. By the end of the week, your mind will feel sharper. Your body will feel lighter. Your soul will feel stronger. Because you're no longer carrying the weight of what was never yours. Most people live like leaves in the wind, tossed and torn by every breeze of circumstance. They exhaust themselves trying to command the ocean when they've never learned to steer their own ship. But you're not most people. You understand the truth. Peace is not found in controlling the world. Power is not found in controlling others. Mastery is found in controlling yourself. So say it one more time, like your life depends on it. I focus on what I can control. Because when you direct your firepower inward, when you stop flailing in chaos and start forging from within, you become untouchable, and the world may still rage. But you stay locked in. Lesson 4. The Value First Principle. Declaration. I deliver value before I expect return. The problem. Most people live in extraction mode. They walk through life with their hands out, not their hands full. They ask, what can I get? What's in it for me? When do I get mine? They chase praise before they've earned respect. They demand rewards before they've delivered anything of real worth. They expect harvests from fields they never planted, and they wonder why nothing grows. They wonder why doors remain closed, why progress is slow, why their life feels empty, transactional, hollow. No, this isn't how real success is built. This isn't how power is earned. This isn't how legacies are forged. You don't take first, you give first, you create first, you build value first, then, only then, do the returns come. If they come at all. Because here's the truth they won't tell you. Sometimes the return is delayed. Sometimes it comes through unexpected doors. And sometimes it never shows up the way you imagined. But you still give. You still build. Because that's who you are. The law of contribution. If you want to become indispensable, if you want to rise above mediocrity, if you want to walk into rooms and have your presence felt before you speak, then you must understand this law. Value must always come before return. You don't wait to be noticed. You make yourself unignorable. You don't withhold effort until someone pays you. You give the kind of effort that demands payment by its very presence. You don't just show up to consume. You show up to contribute. And not in a fake, performative way, but in a real, relentless, quiet way. When no one's watching, when there's no applause, when there's no guarantee it will come back to you. You deliver value anyway, because that's your code. What it means to deliver value first. It means that you operate from abundance, not scarcity. From initiative, not entitlement. From responsibility, not need. In your work, it means going beyond the job description, solving problems before you're asked, making things better simply because they should be better. In your relationships, it means giving more than you ask for, listening more than you speak, lifting others without needing to be lifted in return. In your community, it means creating impact where you see lack, serving without cameras, contributing without hashtags. This isn't about being a doormat. It's about being a force. You don't give from weakness. You give from overflow. You don't sacrifice your value. You amplify it. Morning practice. Each morning, after you declare ownership, embrace discomfort, and claim control, speak this into your mind. I deliver value before I expect return. Then ask yourself, who will be better today because of me? What problem will I solve before I'm asked? Where can I give 10% more than is required? What invisible effort will I offer today without needing recognition? Then write it down. One person to help. One task to exceed expectations. One area where you'll create value with no strings attached. This rewires your psychology. It repositions you from someone who waits for opportunity to someone who creates it. Rejecting the transaction. Mindset. Most people live with a running scoreboard in their head. They count favors. They track praise. They monitor every effort for immediate payoff. This mindset will poison your potential. Because life doesn't reward you based on what you expect. It rewards you based on what you become. You don't get what you want. You get what you earn. So stop keeping score. Start stacking value. Over-deliver. Out-serve. Out-contribute. Not because the world is fair, but because you've decided that you will be excellent anyway. Daily integration. Look for these moments each day. The opportunity to go one step further than required. The chance to help someone without broadcasting it. The moment you could wait, and instead, initiate. The situation where you're tempted to ask for more, and instead, give more. Do this again, and again, and again. Not for recognition, but because every time you do it, you become harder to replace. And when you're hard to replace, you stop chasing opportunity. It starts chasing you. Weekly challenge. Pick one area of your life this week to flood with value. Make it your battlefield, your proving ground. Maybe it's your career, your business, your team, your marriage, your craft. Ask yourself daily, what does value look like in this domain? How can I go beyond what's expected without asking for anything in return? Then execute, track it, reflect on it. You'll notice something strange. The more you give, the more you grow. The more you create, the more capable you feel. The less you need from others, the more power you command. Because you've stopped needing and started building. Delivering value first isn't a tactic. It's a way of life. It's how you shift from a beggar to a builder. From someone waiting for life to be fair to someone who makes life kneel. You want to become irreplaceable? Deliver value when no one's watching, when there's no reward, when there's no guarantee. Deliver value anyway. Say it again. I deliver value before I expect return. Not because it's easy, but because it's rare. And in a world full of takers, you become the source. Lesson 5. The dual blade, gratitude and hunger. Declaration: I am grateful for what is, while working toward what could be. The problem: most people are lopsided. They live their lives at the mercy of extremes, either constantly unsatisfied or endlessly complacent. Some are always reaching, always chasing the next level, never stopping to breathe, never seeing the value of where they already are. They grind endlessly, not from power, but from lack. And no matter what they achieve, it's never enough. They feel hollow, disconnected, burned out. Others have convinced themselves that they should just be grateful, that wanting more is greedy, that staying where they are is somehow virtuous. So they settle, they shrink, they call it peace, but it's really fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of effort, fear of becoming more. No, you cannot thrive in either extreme. The truth, the real power, lives in the tension. The tension between gratitude and hunger, between presence and potential, between appreciation and ambition. This tension, when mastered, becomes a weapon. The law of motivated contentment. Here's the law. Only those who are grateful for the present can fully build the future. and only those who hunger for the future will protect the value of the present. Gratitude grounds you. It clears the fog. It reminds you that right now, this breath, this chance, this day is not owed to you. It's a gift. But hunger propels you. It sets the next target. It keeps the edge sharp. It whispers, there's still more in you. Go. When you live with only gratitude, you become passive. When you live with only hunger, you become empty. But when you carry both, you become a force of nature, rooted in truth and driven by fire. What it means to be grateful while still reaching. It means you stop waiting for life to be perfect before feeling thankful. You find power in your scars. You find beauty in the battle. You find strength in the fact that you're still here. And from that state of appreciation, you build. You do not hate your current state. You honor it while still refusing to stay there. It means you look at your progress and say, thank you, but we're not done. You recognize what you've survived, what you've created, what you've endured, and you still demand more. Not because you're ungrateful, but because your gratitude frees you to evolve without shame, without guilt, without apology. Morning practice. As you close your morning declarations, speak this final truth into your mind. I am grateful for what is, while working toward what could be. Let it land. Let it humble you. Let it ignite you. Then write 3 specific things you are grateful for right now. Not generic, not vague, real, specific, personal. One thing you're building, one vision, one future state you refuse to die without creating. Sit with both lists. Hold them in the same breath. This is the mind of a master, appreciating today while commanding tomorrow. The dangers of imbalance. Gratitude without hunger makes you soft. You begin to believe that staying put is noble, that being content means avoiding ambition, that the pursuit of more is greed. No, hunger is not greed. It's your nature trying to evolve. It's your spirit demanding expansion. But hunger without gratitude is just desperation. You become addicted to forward motion with no compass, no peace, no fulfillment, just movement for the sake of movement. That's not purpose, that's panic. You must hold both. You must be the one who wakes up thankful and still sharp, still climbing, still focused, still hungry. Because gratitude is your anchor. Hunger is your fire. You need both to stay grounded and dangerous. Daily integration. Throughout your day, pay attention to your state of being. When you feel restless, ask, have I stopped appreciating what I have? When you feel stuck, ask, have I stopped reaching for more? When you feel entitled, ask, what blessings have I forgotten? When you feel stagnant, ask, what future have I stopped fighting for? Use both forces like twin blades. Let gratitude stabilize you when life shakes. Let hunger wake you when comfort creeps in. This is not a balance you find once. It's a battle you fight daily. But if you master it, you'll walk through life with peace in your heart and fire in your eyes. Weekly challenge. At the end of each day this week, journal the following. What am I truly grateful for today? What am I building tomorrow? Then write one line that brings the two together. Because I have gratitude, I will create vision. Example, because I have clarity, I will build discipline. Because I have breath, I will run harder. Because I have peace, I will wage war on my limits. You will start to see your current reality not as a limitation, but as fuel. You'll stop seeing the present and future as a conflict. You'll start using the present to forge the future. Most people miss this. They either burn out chasing more or fade out settling for less. But the rare few, the uncommon, the ones who build empires, break patterns, and leave legacies. They live inside this paradox. Grateful, but not done. Grounded, but not satisfied. Humble, but hungry. Say it again. Say it with reverence and with fire. I am grateful for what is, while working toward what could be. This is how you master the moment, without being owned by it. This is how you reach new heights, without forgetting what it took to stand. And this is how you end every day in peace, even while becoming something dangerously powerful. Because you aren't done, not even close. To those who return, our fellow warriors, our relentless few, we see you. You've been walking this path with scars on your back and fire in your soul. And still, you show up. Still, you rise. Still, you sharpen your mind like a blade. You are the reason this movement breathes. And every time you press play, you make this message louder, stronger, impossible to ignore. And to those just arriving, welcome to the edge. This is not comfort. This is not safety. This is GrimFace, a place where the broken come to rebuild, where the lost come to reclaim power, where the ordinary are buried and the extraordinary are born. If you felt something here, if the words burned instead of soothed, then you found your people. So join us. Subscribe. Step deeper into the shadows with us. Because the world wants you numb, but we want you awake. This is the beginning of your return to strength, to purpose, to war. This is the GrimFace movement, and we're just getting started.